Captain Cooper speaks with Group Sue. The last time that you gone down, at what time that was? I had to check with the M on it, but it must have been right around corner after 7 our time. Eastern Standard Time. This is just officer also. Did you come about or off your way? A negative. I think I see going right across my deck here now. I did not. Up in his vicinity, but no I didn't. Music. Alright. So this is good. Roger. Thanks for the information at all. I'll get back to you if we come up with anything. Music. Okay. W405. Music. Madison 162222. Vessels that were up passed you over. That is Charlie. We were meeting the one and I was asking him if he could pick up anything on the radar and he couldn't and I don't know that was a name for he was the second one out. Just for confirmation sir, he couldn't see any lights pick him up on radar. No, I don't know if we were. I thought we were picking them up on radar when I came up. I talked to the mate. The weekend is real bad, but we thought we had the target, but I don't know. Wonder. Here's. Anderson's mate speaks with Group Sue. The mat if he was up there with all the whole thing was going on. Maybe you could get some better information from him. I might have been wrong on some of what I was giving you. Planting crew. Fish. This is Core. Right now we have information we need. Can go back over it with the main just to make sure though. The questions we had were music. What time was the last time that you had any cows or that you had a big chover? 1900. He was approximately 15 miles from the high hump at Chris Point. When I was talking to him, he was 15 miles from the land. So, I understand you had him visually and on the radar and you lost him in both respects. No, I didn't have him visually. I had him on radar. He was exactly 10 miles ahead of us. I asked him at the time how everything was going. Just wait once. I asked him how he was making out with his problem. He said he lost those vents and the lift and he said he was holding his own. The last time I talked with him, he said he was holding his own. And that's the last time I lost contact after that. Music, that was good for us. But that was approximately 1900. Correct. Alright. We held him on radar up to we started getting a lot of sea return, probably around between 8 and 9 miles, and when he got in the sea return we turned the other radar on and we really wasn't sure of any definite target after that. This is good. Roger that. And also I understand there were 3 outers that were to keep an eye out. For this for the 5th Guild and they asked for negative contact. Is that correct? Roger on that. We tried to call him about 6 or 8 times on emergency FM and every day when we come out is music. Music. The ships that were causing each other between hours and down was going. Music. Well, he was, say approximately 2 miles to the east of the course that we came down on off of Whitefish Point. So, the up founders that we met. He should have been just about in the reverse course line of what he was coming, or maybe a mile to the west of them. Thanks for that information. I wanted to say just for confirmation they saw his whole life and they saw it and they signaled up. They did not pick him up on radar. But at the same time you were tracking the 3 hours on radar. Is that correct? Alright. We were picking up 3 bombers up on radar, of course, outside of the sea return ring down around Whitefish Point, and the lookout was keeping a lookout because at the time I said it was 10 miles that we should see lights and the lookout was keeping a lookout. We never seen any lights or flares or anything. Thank you for that information. We'll get back to Roger 5. Music. Can we get an advance of the 3 outbound vessels? I need to get that in. Copy that. Can you help me out there with the names of the 3 bound vessels that were passed? We know one of them was a one. Do you have the names of the other 2 over? So control. Yeah, you were coming in broken up. I couldn't read anything. Cooper and Group Sue discussed the 3 salties. We'd like to know the names of the 3 vessels that were supposed to pass upbound. We know one was a Nan. We had a few saltwater vessels also. Question again. Was a gentleman was a Ben 3 and one was a man free and I just talked to a man again. He's right up in that area. Can still pick him up on the radar. And the other was the Ben Fry and also there should have been a third vessel. Was that the 84? I think I'd heard him talking before. This is super. Roger. And by music. The wind is about west-northwest 40 to 45 here. Music. See, we're in the bay here now. The seas are not quite as bad, but out beyond the point there. We were taking water 6 feet high right across our. Roger, sir. When you talk about 6 feet high across your deck, how much freeboard is that? That's we've got about 10 feet. I estimated the wings were some of the big ones between 20 and 25 feet visibility. Well, it was a King's, but as a rule, good. Roger, can we give the estimate distance? 10 miles. That's a lot of times. I mean, I get some install occasionally, but follow 10 miles. So we're picking up this salt water vessel coming down White 20 miles. Is also attacked in either downbound or upbound in that area. Those 3 salt water vessels are in the area. One of them is up area now. But when we last had contact with him, they made a talk to him at about 10 minutes after 7:19:10. And we said he was going along fine and no problem. Except he didn't have a radar, and that's when the mate gave him his position. 15 miles north of the Chris Point. And 144 degrees. He said he was told north. Coming just 15 miles from that big highland and back of Chris Point. Of it. Thank you very much for that information. Anything else contact? Music. Just one more thing I was happened to think about that since a weather ship. The same as we are. You might be able to check through the rain and see if through your stations up there on Grand. Mar report. Music. We've had contact with Station Grand. They report that they heard nothing at the 0. Over. No, I was just wondering to use a weather chip. You could have put it in the rain or any place. I was just wondering whether you could check through on that. Arthur M. Anderson is asked to search for the Fitzgerald. Music. This is what's your position now on the weather condition. Now we're down here about 2 miles off 3 Island right now. We were just gonna call you and give us our time at THRE. But the wind is west-northwest. About 40-45 here in the bay. And outside there, I took one seal right there. To freeboard and I got the extra deck back there and I took one up around the lifeboat. So, there was some very heavy seating occasionally. Controlling down at all, do you think? In the bay. Here it is. But other way. I heard a couple I saw talking up there, a couple have gone out. Music, to control. Roger. Did you anybody else that was up now that's just recently or? Negative. The last 3 we met were those 3 saltwater vessels. The Nan 3, the Ben 3 and I can't remember the name of the other one. This is Roger. We have it. Do you think there's any possibility that you could come out and go back there and do any searching? Music. God, I don't know. And that sea out there is tremendously large. And if you want me do what I can, but I am not going to be making any time. I'll be lucky to make 2 or 3 miles an hour going back out that way. This is a simple trail. Roger. Well, you still have to make the decision as to whether you would be or not. But you're probably one of the only vessels right now that can get to the scene. We're going to try to contact those saltwater vessels and see if they can't possibly come about and come back also. I said you are loaded. Is that right? The radar here 10 minutes ago and they were right up in that area. This is control. We will contact them and see if we can't get them to switch the area off. So we're trying to get a close-eye aircraft launch to come out to the area, but I would say things look pretty bad. Like she who may have ratified the stands like the Morale did a few years back. This is just what I'm wondering because the map out there we headed off and the last known position that we got on was 14 miles west of Copper Mine Point. And now we just talked to him about after 7 and he said everything was fine and then of course the return never thought anything about it, but we saw no there should be flashing and the building was. But you are definitely sure that you was ahead you. Yes, and the wind was northwest out there 555 to 70. Right there. Well, again, you think you could come out and go back and, take a look in the area. I'll have to notify the captain and call you back. Music. Alright. Music. Music points. So I'm heading up those posts right there. To Pancake Sach, and then I'll come back up on that. I'll right there somebody stand right into the wind. Understand that you have come about 76. Is that correct? Negative. Not yet. I'm under check. I'm not up to miss yet. Alright. Is there? Yeah, that's pretty good setting running out here. I just can't hear it. Roger. As you think the wind is abating a little bit of it. It just seems to be moderating a little bit right now, and at least I hope so. That low is moving pretty fast and we are on the back side of it. I don't know up there. We talked to the weather also, and they said it had reached its peak. It was coming down a little bit, and they expected that by morning it should be down somewhere around 15 to 20 sometime. In the morning. Well, I'll tell you, as you started, you're going to start your search the way the wind and the sea has been out there. The search is, I think, it should be conducted from the land side out first. Over there by pretty good spot. Yeah, just like when we were in that search with those other boys that were off here before. I was involved with that, and they wound up in Pancake. You're heading home. I'm heading almost northwest so I can get up close to Pancake Show and go out on a. Heading at the with my stem right in the eye of the chase. Controller. Roger. You're right now. Well, I'm under check. I haven't got the full force of them yet, but they're still big. Music. I'm still getting a little bit of a lead from Whitefish yet, but I've got it under check here right now. Music. I'm going to see what that unit is normally. Oh, it would normally be around 9-10 miles per hour, but a lot less than that. Roger. Appreciate your help, and we're trying to get a comm mod. Music. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Seems funny. I mean, we've been shadowing them all the time, and they started looking for him. They couldn't find him. Roger, no problem. That's the thing that really strikes me, that you didn't even have time to deal with it. You have no contact. The present time. Is that correct? Yeah. I can see the two water vessels up there now. They're 14, 12, 16. One is about 17 miles and one is 20. Music. They're not making any time at all. They're making a lot of to $1, and they had nothing to fix. But the thing about it was, we come up there, we called him, to check on him and see how he was doing. And the last contract we had with him, he said, well, he was going along fine and holding his own and no problems. And then, he kind of relaxed a little bit, and said he was in the sea return. And then when we couldn't see his lights, we figured we should be kicking a little bit 'cause he checked down and then he just wasn't there. Did you say that you had a couple of come off and it was taking some water? Yes. Roger. We're getting ahead in the area now. We'll be back with you. 2:36. That's Pancake Music. Music. And the last position of the vessel was 15 miles due north of Point 736. Fire. Music. That would be greatly appreciated without risking any lives for danger. Avoid that. That's what I understand. As I say, I'm up in Gully Bay here for me to get going and get out of here. And with a driver with a particular thing, as I came out of the smoother afternoon in that 55 miles per hour wind there, and we got going around trying to make the ranges. Fortunately, we were able to get the ranges and I could work there magnetically, but as I say, I'd get out there without a gyro and getting absolute course lines, and that I'd be in jeopardy with my crew. Officer. We were sensing that any time that you do decide to get underway, do keep a line for me or any survivors deliver. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're monitoring all the radio conversations here, and it's one of those things that occurred. I would be more than willing to go out there, but with the situation with the gyro that I have here, I have problems. So possibly I don't want to for my group. U.S. Navy aircraft joins the search. Music. Music engine underway. The common frequency would be channel 1236. Roger. And are they commercial vessels? Over. Music. 236 still control the Anderson vessel. Anderson is a vessel that's presently coming around getting underway. The gain is also getting underway. Also, commercial music. 36. What was that last vessel? RJ. Here. The official is the Edmund Fitzgerald. Standby 1. Let me get the Arthur Anderson on his frequency. He is the vessel that reported seeing the Fitzgerald disappear from his radar screen, and he was the last one that was in radar contact with him. I also believe she will be the closest to the scene as he gets back on scene there. Standby 1 and we will get him on this frequency. Roger. Music. Music. Yes, this is control. I have aircraft 7236. Close aircraft 7236 on 2C. Exact position. Does he have channel 16? Anderson Coast Guard 236 call. Yes, this is can you see us coming out here? I don't spot you at all. I got 5 vessels out here. Well, I'm the one that's heading. I'm almost out to Whitefish Point. Can you see the point there? Roger. Can you flash your lights? I'll put my flashlight in the sky. Music. Music. You see. 1 and I'll leave nowhere. Close. Back there north and west of top of line point. How about here position at the present time? Anybody music. B point music. The only ship down here that's off of the point proper. Just control. There are a number of 3 or 4 vessels that are anchored right outside point in the lane there, but the percent is further out along the track line heading towards Disjoy. Is our recommendation switch a line from Antiage Gold to a point 15 miles north of Chris Point. And that was the last reported position of City was 15 miles north of Chris Point. And with the wind going from northwest, if there were any survivors, we would estimate that they should have drifted towards control. Control 7236. Repeat to the left. I didn't get the drift on a survivor. Over. This is control with the wind blowing from the north at 40 to 50. We would estimate that the survivor should have drifted toward Pancake Shaw from a point 15 miles north of Chris Point. 176. Roger. Is that all controllers in the ocean? Music. To control request to stand by on this frequency and maintain a cal with us. And the aircraft. We will use this as the common search frequency. Roger. Music. Helicopter aircraft. Yeah, nice to see you there now. We'll put our right on you. Negative. Negative. Got you. Okay, fine. Fine. Control area. Do you have a little map there where it is? Music. Think traffic. I said. Do you have an area map there? That wind was northwest and very steady from about the west-northwest all afternoon. Rob. Forward at this time. Where was the step-by-step in relation to the position of your position at this time? Where would we lost? Well, the last known contact we had was 10-4 miles west of top of mine point, but we don't know whether we had a later than that or not because it's ready to return on the radar. Music. Right now. Bay. 34. 15 miles north of flight. That was sort of on the up mile track north of the down mile track. Music. All right. We've been up to the north and we came down off of just off of the west end of Mocha. Both around 140 degrees crew for 4.